Where are all the entry-level art jobs? Why does unemployment for new graduates keep rising? You have a degree, maybe even a master's, but you still can't get your foot through the door. Why? When there are 100 applicants to a single job posting, all within 24 hours, you might not even bother applying. I mean, it's not like you're gonna get a reply anyway. So what's the point? Sounds familiar to you, right? Then congratulations, you're one of the many, many, many new graduates, or not so new graduates, that are in the same damn boat. What's even worse is that no one seems to be doing anything about it. Well, apart from calling you lazy. So why don't we actually find out what's wrong? Welcome to Cartoon Artwork. I'm Arty, and today we're going to talk about the biggest reasons behind the entry-level job drought that has plagued every inch of the art world. Let's get to the bottom of this together. First and foremost, you're not imagining it. Entry-level art jobs have become much harder to find, and here are a few key reasons why. There's too many of us. The term degree inflation describes the growing demand for higher-level education, often a bachelor's or even a master's degree, for roles that previously did not need them, including those where sheer talent, a solid portfolio, or apprenticeships were once adequate. In the art world, a Bachelor of Fine Arts, BFA, or a comparable degree is currently required for many entry-level positions, such as junior graphic designer, illustrator, animator. You get the idea. Even when the job's responsibilities can be completed by someone with outstanding practical abilities and a solid portfolio alone. Now a master's degree or several certifications can be required for even assistant-level roles or even internships, and that has created the oversaturation of art graduates.
No, God!
When there are more art graduates than the labor market can handle, this is referred to as oversaturation, and this can result in fewer career options in the industry, heightened competition, reduced pay, or straight-up unemployment.
Fair change.
High enrollment in creative degrees such as art, design, and creative media programs have attracted too many students. Regardless of market demand, universities advertise these programs to raise tuition money. And instead of choosing art for their future careers, many students do it out of personal passion. And universities prey on this while failing to provide enough career counseling or realistic information regarding employment prospects. And don't even get me started on the student debt.
This is all I got.
But what is experience? Nowadays, many entry-level positions call for 2 to 5 years of work experience. This may consist of previous experience working in a professional studio, published pieces or delivered goods, knowledge of several tools, pipelines, or even team management. What's that about? Has this ever happened to you? You've just graduated and you go onto LinkedIn to search for your first job. You find one. Entry-level concept artist is the job description. Yay! You scroll down and see that it needs 3 years of game development experience in a AAA game that has been shipped, plus proficiency in Photoshop, Blender, and Unreal Engine? These are the prerequisites? You get confused. You scroll back up to double check that it is, in fact, an entry-level job posting. And then you cry. You guys don't do that? Oh. Now why is this something to worry about? This essentially creates a catch-22 situation where you need a job to gain experience, but you also need experience to acquire the job. It can restrict entrance to unpaid internships and undermine personal projects, and it promotes gatekeeping and burnout in the creative industry. So why all of a sudden do these jobs require more out of us? Why does the line in the sand keep moving out of reach? Why are companies making it so much harder to get your first job? It's because they can afford to, but also because they can't afford you. No more training. One of the biggest threats to new graduates is the ongoing outsourcing issue that has completely taken over the need for entry-level jobs. A lot of the work that was previously done by entry-level artists is now contracted out to foreign studios. And because of this, studios can afford to completely avoid training, benefits, and long-term commitments to newer talent since the job can be given to someone with previous experience. Money is the top priority for studios. Hiring a junior in-house could cost more than hiring an experienced artist from abroad for the same amount of money, or less. Studios are more cost-conscious right now than ever, and the combination of the political landscape and the recession doesn't help either. If the government isn't ready to invest in the arts don't feel as comfortable in taking creative risks. And funding for the arts is typically the first to be eliminated during difficult economic times. Art initiatives can succeed or fail based on political decisions regarding how they manage a recession or national debt.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
And the impact? Massive layoffs in the cultural sectors, fewer exhibitions, lesser commissions, and less grant fundings. And they say art isn't affected by politics. If you were a studio in the middle of this chaos, the first thing you're likely to do is trim the fat, especially if a cheaper alternative is presented to you. I mean, the whole point of entry-level jobs is to make better employees. But what if the companies don't even want to pay for good artists? Can anyone be an artist? Indeed, the freelance art environment is severely oversaturated, particularly in well-liked disciplines like concept art, illustration, animation, graphic design, and 3D modeling. But it's a little more complicated than too many artists. Here's an explanation of why the setting seems overly crowded and what that actually means in real life. Since no formal degree or qualification is necessary to begin freelancing, anyone with a computer and art software can do it. The market right now is overloaded with low-cost labor from platforms such as Fiverr, Upwork, and 99 Designs, which lowers pay and reduces demand for entry-level workers, because now they can hire veterans with 10+ years of experience to do the work for a fraction of the cost. And if that's not the case, the companies that clearly don't know what good design is are hiring non-artists that just happen to know how to use Canva. And no one is ready for that conversation. Does knowing how to use an art software make you a designer? Especially if you've never even studied design? I mean, whatever your answer may be, it doesn't matter. Because right now, companies only care about who they can afford, and it might as well be someone that exclusively uses Canva. Or worse, AI. And AI is faster and cheaper. AI tools are thought to be cost-effective, particularly for businesses with tight deadlines or modest budgets. Clients are expecting freelancers to utilize AI to complete tasks more quickly, or they will utilize the AI themselves. As a result, beginner artists are forced to compete with computers for the simplest tasks that were necessary for gaining access to the learning pipeline. AI programs such as DALL-E, Midjourney, Canva, and others have made it simpler for non-artists to create passable visuals rather than paying a professional designer. Businesses would rather hire seniors or just utilize AI contractors since AI can now handle more production-related menial tasks. And they don't seem to realize the impact on the future, because if fewer people are learning the skills necessary to become mid-level artists, this bottlenecks the talent pipeline. AI portfolios are all over freelance platforms and social media. Unrealistic expectations are being raised when authentic portfolios from up-and-coming artists are compared with extremely polished, AI-assisted or AI-faked work. And because of this, it's more difficult for true beginners to stand out without coming across as unprepared, even when they're not. So what happens in the future when they can no longer find any legit designers anymore? At least, ones that actually know what they're doing. I mean, I guess they could just get Steve from IT to put together a small 3-minute animation. I mean, how hard can that be? 1 week is enough to get something from script to final edit, right? You want to know what will happen? Or what is happening? The art departments are shrinking. A serious expanding problem in fields including animation, game development, publishing, advertising, and entertainment is the shrinking of art departments. It is fueled by a combination of structural, technological, and economic shifts, and is directly affecting the quality of creativity as well as the availability of jobs. There are fewer in-house artists being employed. Departments are being combined or merged. There's more outsourcing and eliminating of junior positions. There are fewer full-time positions and more freelance contract hires. And of course, seniors are being told to accomplish more with less resources and pay. Gosh, commercial artists are quite literally becoming endangered. The job, not the people. You can still find one working in a retail store. Too soon? Sorry. I wasn't trying to... it was. It was a joke! In comparison to programming, marketing, or IP acquisition, art is viewed as a non-core expense by publishers and studios who have limited funds.
I declare bankruptcy!
Unless it directly generates income, such as through branding or high-profile assets, art is undervalued. So other departments expand and art teams get reduced. And when supply exceeds demand, companies can afford to cherry-pick, or just take on unpaid interns instead of hiring. Yes, so how can you, as a new graduate, stand out from others while being stranded in the same damn boat? One way is to stop seeing yourself as a starving artist and start selling yourself as the professional. Personal branding. Today's art industry has higher and higher standards for personal branding, particularly for freelance workers, emerging artists, and even students. This trend is a reaction to the oversaturated market as well as a sign that art careers have evolved due to social media, gig platforms, and digital culture. And in its basic form, an artist's personal branding includes how you show the world your work and yourself, what people think about your creative message, personality, or art style, and your confidence, dependability, and cross-platform recognition. It's more than simply a catchy username or logo. It's a thoughtful presentation of your portfolio, your presence on social media, website or shop, style of communication, and even your morals and the origins of your work. So what can you do? If you're still trying to break in, here are some potential strategies. Start with freelance or contract work to build a client base and experience. Now, this can be difficult at the beginning, so make use of the time you spend in university so that you're not completely new once you graduate. Specialize in a niche. It could be motion graphics, UI UX, 3D modeling, because generalists face the most competition right now. Plus, you'll be surprised at how many skills can be transferable from a single niche in the future. Look for internships, apprenticeships, or volunteer projects where you can prove yourself. Even art competitions can add experience. Build a killer portfolio, even if it's personal projects or redesigns of existing brands. Like, make a brand for your dog if you have to. Anything to show that you can put what you've learned into practice. Network like crazy. A huge number of jobs are never posted, especially in creative fields. And this is important. Keep in touch, even if it's just once a year. Honestly, just take a page out of Michael Scott's handbook. He knows what he's doing. Although success is still achievable, it now requires more entrepreneurial skills than ever before, including marketing, positioning, and flexibility in addition to creative talent. In many instances, entrepreneurship is emerging as one of the most promising career options in the current art economy. And it can also assist artists in avoiding the shortage of entry-level positions. However, and this is crucial, it's not quick, it's not simple, and it's not suitable for everyone. However, because the industry no longer provides a clear entry point, an increasing number of artists are establishing their own careers this way. In the art and creative sectors, proof of skill should outweigh pedigree, but institutional and economic pressures have complicated that. There's a growing movement towards degree-less hiring and portfolio-first evaluations, especially in tech-adjacent creative industries. But systematic change is still very slow. The oversaturation of art graduates isn't about too many artists. It's about a system that doesn't adequately prepare them for real-life creative careers. The solution isn't to discourage art education, but to reshape it to be more sustainable, informed, and adaptive to today's market realities. And it starts with education. More specifically, the inclusion of business studies that can better prepare artists to choose how they market their skills and themselves in a way that can become self-sustainable. No longer should we have to be at the mercy of the market demand to be taken seriously.
Not bad, not bad.
True artists will always be ready to show up and support other fellow artists. And that alone can boost morale and motivation to keep going. Not everyone can be a jack of all trades. So when you're first starting out, it's essential that you form a good creative support system. This makes networking and collaborations easier and accessible. Thank you so much for listening, and for making it to the end of the video. This is a subject that matters now more than ever, so please like and share to everyone currently confused and struggling with this topic. Hit that bell icon for notifications, and feel free to comment down below. And of course, please subscribe for more informative videos in the future. As always, good luck with your art.